And so, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Mr. Technologist Nick Naharudin Muhammad Nasir, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. MC. Sorry. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamualaikum and a very good evening. I know this is a bit challenging to be the last session before everybody wants to rush back and trying to beat the jam. The good thing is you won't be able to beat the jam is already there, so you might as well stay here with us. Right? So this panel, the topic is on talent. Topic is given to us is from learners to leaders, accelerating Malaysia's AI talent development. Okay, so we're going to run it a bit differently. I'm going to have only the first panel with me, and the other two will be joining us a bit later. So right. So the first panelist is Puan Mahrin, which is no stranger to the national talent development community. She began her professional journey across various industries, bringing over 25 years of experience in talent management. With a deep understanding of human capital strategy and development, she has led her teams to numerous successes in initiatives involving promoting women's participation and developing policies and frameworks for flexible work arrangements. She is also involved in conducting research on talent skill mismatches and the impact of AI, digitalization, and the green economy. So with that diverse background, I think she's very well suited to talk to us today about what the nation is doing about AI talent. So before I give the mic to her, let me just give a bit of a context setting. So this morning, we heard from the minister the three ingredients of AI. One is infrastructure, being having the connectivity and device. The other one is about having the right kind of security to give confidence to users and industry alike. And last but not least is talent in terms of developing the right kind of talents. You know, all three kinds of talents: talent to develop AI, talent to use AI for work, and talent that can live with AI in their daily lives. So, interestingly enough, PCOM just released their annual economic and digital job market outlook over a week ago. And the salary growth for digital talent is set to normalize at a healthy rate of 7%. Annual salary growth at 7% is very healthy, I think, for the nation in 2024 and 2025. And against that backdrop, the earned salaries that has been reported, for example, for digital tech software engineer, the average salary is from 3,006 to 4,100 for the technical group. But if you're doing software engineer, AI related, the average salary shot up by almost 30%, 3,700 to 5,500. So that's the impact of AI already on the salaries of our workforce, right? So coincidentally, TalentCorp also just concluded their research on the impact of AI, digital, and green tech on the economy. So what we're going to do is that we're going to invite Puan Mahrin to give us a brief and concise summary of the findings of the study. With that, I invite from Puan Mahrin.
Okay, thank you, Nick. So it's a very tough slot, actually. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and people are rushing to avoid the jam. But maybe Nayo this morning also mentioned that they also will do a research, to adopt the AI in the transportation, probably to improve the jam, so that everybody can get the advantage of that. Okay, so as what this morning our YB Gobi mentioned about in this AI space, we need infrastructure, we need process, we need the talent. Now we are here to talk about the talent part, which we conduct a study on the impact of study of the AI, digital and green. Just to give a summary and how we come up with that, from the long story, I just cut it short. Okay, in March 2024, when the Minister of Kesuma, YB Stevens, gave a mandate, to MHOCHA, to Kesuma, and TalentCorp, to appoint TalentCorp as a think tank of Kesuma. So the first task that we have to do is to conduct a study. So why the study is being chosen is because every day we talk about AI, every day we talk about digital, about the green economy in the news, in the social media. So we want to know whether are we equipped or are we equipped with the skills of our local talents here. Yeah. So it's okay. I think I'm okay to. Is it? All right. To better. All right. Okay. So, okay. Cik Ni asked me to stand here. Okay. Hello. Okay. So, right. So the purpose of study, as I mentioned, this is actually to assess how the emerging AI, digital, and green economy trends to shape our Malaysians workforce, and is aligned with our Madani's economy's goal and also other government's documents like NIP that been mentioned this morning, and My Digital, and also the MK12, and many more of the government documents. Okay. And the deliverables of this study is just to give the gist of that is, as I mentioned, to look at the impact of this AI, and we focus on the industry and also the roles plus the skills. Yeah? And of course, we will highlight the robotic strategies for the impactor roles that I will discuss, I will show you later in the next slide. And with that skills required by that required of the job, and we will map it to the what kind of training needed for the individual to do the upskilling or to do the reskilling part, and the last part is to address the key action, the impact of the workforce. And of course, this study also will relate to the Malaysia National Registry, which we do have a central platform to show, to give the information on the skills and on the job that being impacted by AI. Okay. Okay. Of course, there are three areas that we focus on. The first one is the AI readiness. Okay, this is where you can see when the governments launch the AI talent roadmap 2024 until 2033 launch, and even in our APEC, you can see that Malaysia is the rank number 8, and also second in ASEAN. So you can see that how we the countries are moving forward to that space. And in terms of the digital competitiveness, we can see that digital economy contributes 22.6% of GDP, which Malaysia Digital Initiative launched to improve the competitiveness. And the last one, of course, under the MK12 and National Energy Transition Roadmap, TR we call it, is to set the net zero GHG goals by 2050. So the future workforce direction is, of course, first to upskill and to reskill, to equip our Malaysian workforce with this agenda, AI, digital, and also the green economy competency. Okay, for the first one study, actually we cover 10 sector. Yeah, the 10 sector that we choose, yeah, for this impact AI is aerospace, GBS, the Global Business Services, ICT, Information and Communication Technology, Chemical, Energy and Power, E&E, Medical Device, Pharmaceutical, and also wholesale and retail, and the last one is food manufacturing services. So when we conduct the research, of course, there are 5 sectors that we follow. Okay, the first one, of course, we decide what are the subsector, and how we conduct the subsector, how we select that is, of course, based on the GDP, based on the total of employees involved in that 10 sector. Okay, and the stage number 2 is to conduct the impact assessment. How we conduct the impact assessment is we look into the roles, yeah, the roles of each sector, the one that I mentioned, the 10 sector, and plus then we also look into the skills, yeah, the skills to do that job, yeah, for that. And we validate that. Of course, industry, we invite the industry of all the main players of the sectors, MNC, GLC, the SME, the PMKS, and also all those association business to contribute, yeah, to give feedback on during our validations. And plus, the stage number 4 is to define the career pathway, meaning that, okay, if this job impacted by the AI, okay, what kind of skill related, or if they want to go to a promotions, you know, what type of training is needed there, yeah? And the 5th one is, of course, the recommendation and also the developed action plan, which this morning we also heard about the collaboration between the government, the academia, the industry, and the training part. So all, okay, we will look into at the stage number 5. Okay, this is what I can give, can share the findings of this research. Okay, for all these 10 sectors, okay, it shows that all the sectors agree that adopting the AI, digital technology, and green economy trend is important to stay competitive and sustainable. So all of them said that it's very important. But of course, the phase, the level is different. We cannot compare that the pace of E&E, the pace of medical devices are in the same. No, they are at different level, yeah, in terms of that. And the findings number 2, it shows that 949 jobs, roles were identified, and the skill framework for both basic and the specific technical skill was reviewed and confirmed by the stakeholders. So when we mention about the job role, this is all the job roles being identified by all the captain of the industry. And this role also, we will identify what are the basic skills, what are the specific technical skills required for the individual talent to do the job. We will translate that into the platform Mahir. I will show you in my last presentation, and how it, from this finding, we put it into the platform so everyone can do a reference from that platform. Okay? The number 3, this is where our Yang Amat Berhormat PM mentioned about the jobs. Yeah? In these findings, there are about 620,000 jobs, or I can put it into percentage, 18% of the 3.5 million employees expected to be highly impacted, but not now, in the next 3 to 5 years. So meaning, this is not an obsolete job. We are talking about the job that require AI, and how the skills, the talents need to improve, you know, to make that his job is relevant to that. Yeah. So of course, the following findings is highly impacted job roles can pivot to other jobs within the across sector, which I did mention. Okay, when they do upskilling, when they do reskilling, we are talking about if the individual are not interested to work in warehouse, you know, and probably they want to go to she or want to go to the customer service. And of course, with the AI related skills or also training, the persons can move, yeah, whether vertical or whether horizontals there. And the number 5 is, this is the emerging jobs, a new jobs that will become more important. 60 emerging jobs with 70% in AI and digital, this related maybe coding, machine learning, okay? And also 20% in green and 10% in new technology. 20% is 20% in green, we are talking about the energy part, the green economy part, yeah? And the last part is, employers are increasingly seeking talent with the competency of AI, digital, and green skills, even for the non-tech roles. So this is all the findings that we find in this research. And of course, this presentation is, because it's a short time, it's only the gist. Yeah, it's all there in the report, which we will show you in the MyMahir platform. Okay. Okay, this is where I mentioned about the MyMahir. And from this research study also, we set up, we set up a council. We call it MyMahir Future Skill Talent Council by sector. Why we formed this? Because we aware that, and even the findings also show that, the issue and challenges of the sector are not the same. Because they will be you see, each sector have different issue and different challenges, different needs. So that's where we need the captains of that industry to lead, to discuss on this topic of talents. Okay? And of course, which I mentioned that this is where we want to drive the excellence and safety and of course the sustainability of each sector. Okay, and how it works? This is only a diagram where, where is the supply of the talents and the functions of the MyMahir Future Skill Talent Councils and the demand from the talents, the demand from, of course, from the industry, and supply, of course, we need the academia because they will produce our graduates, our TVET, our all those skill talent. So that is can be put it to the industry, which they always say that they don't have enough technicians, they don't have enough, engineers, and etc. This is how the functions of this MyMahir FSTC, Future Skills Talent Councils. Yeah, this is all the 10 sector. It's only a picture there, and how the engagements of that. So within the 6 months from March, which I mentioned about the mandate given, and we finish it in September, and we launched it last month, I think, last 3 weeks there, yeah, on this. And of course, what is the action? Yeah, the action that we need, talking about the collaboration just now, which put it in short, it's easy to remember. They call it GIAT, G-I-A-T. So what does GIAT mean? GIAT is government, I is the industry, okay, and the A is the academia, T is the training. So why we need all those collaboration is because we want to have a policy, we want to have a rules, we want to have a DASA, and we need also the industries. No, you are doing the business, you are giving the revenue to the country. So we would like to help, and we want to listen to you. You are leading that space, and academia from the supply side. Okay, from the school, from the university, from the polytechnic, from all the TVET college, yeah, and of course the training needed that I mentioned. Yeah. Okay. Just to show you one video, okay, about the MyMahir. I think it takes only about 1 minute for you to, scan through. And you can also go to our platform, yeah, to go further.
Once logged in, you can start by searching for your current role. Simply type your job title into the search field or click through the relevant sectors to find it. After selecting your role, the platform will display a list of key skills that correspond to your position. Here, you'll have the option to compare your current skills with those required for other potential roles you might be interested in. The platform displays the skills required for both roles side by side, allowing you to identify any skill gaps based on the listed skills. This way, you can clearly see what skills you'd need to develop to make a transition. To address these gaps, the platform also provides a list of recommended training programs. By clicking here, you can browse courses or training related to each skill you want to improve. If any courses catch your interest, you can add them to your dashboard for easy tracking. Speaking of dashboards, each user has a personal dashboard where you can set goals for career growth. For example, if you're aiming for a dream job or exploring a new role, you can mark that as a goal on your dashboard. From there, you can assess which skills you need to work on, add relevant training courses, and mark each course as completed when you finish it. The platform also has a dedicated section for students under 15 years old. You'll find a selection of engaging age-appropriate videos that make learning fun and interactive. For students over 15, you can access tools and resources that may help you to make informed decisions and set achievable goals for your professional future. This tailored approach ensures that each student, regardless of age, has access to resources that suit their learning needs. Lastly, the platform also offers an accessibility menu. With options like a dyslexia-friendly view, high contrast mode, and larger text, you can easily customize the display to suit your needs and make browsing more comfortable.
So you can see from that, okay, just take note, this is the platform, not training platform, no. But this is the informations of the job, okay, that impacted by the AI and also digital plus the green. And there's also, you can see the information about the skills required, the basic skill and the specific skills, the technical skill. And we also, you can see that, that relate that what kind of training. And for further training, of course, they will, you can go to our brothers, HRDC, okay, to get training, yeah, that is required, yeah, that is registered by the HRDC. So the last part is what's next, okay? So we actually working on the phase 2, and the phase 2, of course, cover all those sectors that showed here, and will finish by next year at the end, yeah? Third quarter. Thank you. Right? So this is my last, I think, last slides. Okay, I pass to you, Nick. Thank you very much.
So thank you. So now, so this is a bit of a different sort of panel session where we integrate presentation session into it. So let me, now we have the rest of the panelists with us. I'm going to introduce Chai Ping first, ladies first, yeah? So Chai Ping, yeah, her bio is very long, so I'm trying to, okay. So she's currently country MD and HR Director of Experian Malaysia, an MD status company. with a workforce of over 1,000 employees. Prior to Experian, she's also the HR director of Mendelez, and she's done some work with TalentCorp in the early days. She's also actively involved in women-related initiatives, and also very active in the GBS community. In the middle is Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Naz'ri Mahrin. He is currently the Dean of the, he used to be the Dean of the Razak Faculty of Technology and Informatics at UTM from January 2022 until 2024. But he's handpicked to become the Dean of the country's very first AI faculty. So we are going to listen to the one handpicked, I would say, by probably the highest powers in the country to lead the faculty. So yeah, so we are very, very lucky to have them here today. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump straight into the question. The first question will be to Chai Ping, right? And this is related to the future of work. Future of work, and of course, related to that is in terms of what constitutes a future-ready workforce. So when we talk about the future-ready workforce, we're talking about the future where we have to imagine what the future is like, and we have to imagine where the workplace is, whether they will be working at the office or working remotely or working in what form, and who will be doing the job. Is it human? Is it AI? Is it combination? So all these questions come into play. So let's listen from her, in coming from the industry perspective, how they view this. Please.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you very much. I will firstly want to congratulate those of you who are still here. So thank you for bearing with us and staying on and having the tenacity to listen to the panel here. So thank you very much. I also wanted to talk about My Mahir a little bit before I jump into. So when My Mahir was launched a couple of weeks ago, my global leaders, right, were in KL. I actually pulled them along for the launch, and they actually said that it was very impressive, right? And we have just launched our career framework in Experian globally, and they said that if we had only known that My Mahir was going to be launched, we would cut and paste, right? So I think that really sets the tone a little bit of how we as a nation is setting the scene, but also more importantly, how we are viewing it. If I look at the topic today, it says from learners to leaders, accelerating Malaysia AI talent development. Now, if we anchor that question or that topic, let's look at a BCG study actually looked at how prepared we are. I think this morning we had the PM speaking, and then we had the digital minister speaking and all that. Over the last few months, we have really accelerated, right? How we get into that digital economy, getting into AI and whatnot. I've got Prof next to me, so I'm not going to steal your thunder. But if I look at some BCG study, which my colleagues actually also kindly sent to me, the AI pioneers are the known entities of UK, US, Canada, China, and maybe even Singapore. If we look at those that are steady contenders, Malaysia is already in that game. And the steady contenders are together with Australia, Austria, Denmark, Hong Kong, Ireland, and so on and so forth. So Malaysia is very high in terms of preparedness for AI. Now, given that, what are we doing now that AI has already took the workforce by storm, and Experian is definitely not spared. Again, if I go back to the question of learners to leaders, is it just learning about AI, or really how do you lead in AI? And leader of self, not just if you are higher up in the organization and leading that way, but leader of self, what do you need to do? So very quickly, I'll just say that there are few things that we really need to do as we think about AI. Yes, it will take away our roles, but it should not take away our jobs, if you see what I'm saying. AI really should be generating, right, more value, creating more value. It takes away my role, but I should be equipped, right, and reskill and upskill, you know, to work together with AI. So I see the future of work that way, and we really need to start thinking about responsible thinking. I think all the innovation and creativity, but also entrepreneurial leadership. What does it mean? Because AI today, from what I know, will not be able to just look at resources and plan. I think it still depends on human beings. So entrepreneurial leadership really looks at what we have today and not look at what we don't have today. What we have today and use those resources to create value, right? And AI today will not be able to deal with paradoxical leadership and thinking yet, right? I'll give you some examples. If you ask AI today to talk about confidently humble, I don't think you will get, you know, a very strong answer. Or behave confidently humble, or ruthlessly caring, or ambitiously appreciative, politically virtuous, responsibly daring. So these are some of the paradoxical mindsets that I think the humans can still play, and how we can leverage on AI to kind of do a hybridized workforce, right? So that we can get better at our thinking. I'll pause there and pass on to Nick. Thanks.
Wow, wonderful. It's good to know that Malaysia is already considered as steady contenders alongside other leading nations in the world. But I like the few things that Chai Ping mentioned about the fact that AI is not taking away our jobs, but instead is taking away our roles. So it's up to us to define and identify new roles which are best suited for us as humans, and let those roles which are better done by AI, let AI do that for us, right? And I think some humans are also not so good at being having the paradoxical mindsets. I don't know about you guys, but probably for me, I find it quite challenging also to be confidently humble. At least I find that a challenge, right? So, right. So my next question would be going to Prof. Naz'ri, right? If Chai Ping mentioned just now about the workforce and how we should be the leaders of ourselves and all that, then we are now having to focus also on the learners, whereby the learners are being produced by the schooling system, by the tertiary system, by our universities and colleges, right? I think we have done good in terms of coming up with the AI faculty, but you know, maybe you can share with us what are the right strategies for equipping Malaysians with these AI-related skills from the higher education perspective. Because I've been in conversation with a few parties. Some of them are questioning whether setting up AI faculties is the right approach, because AI is meant to be by all faculties, not just one specific faculty. So maybe you can share with us your thoughts along that line.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nick. Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. Good day, everyone. First of all, when they talk about talent development, we must remember it must be by design. So that's why I think the big decision made by the Prime Minister and the government of the day to establish the Faculty of AI. For your information, we were officially launched on the 10th of May this year, and we are about 7 months old. Okay, very, very young. But we realized that a big responsibility for us to move forward in order to prepare the talent or produce the talent for the future. Okay, talking about the talent, essentially it should be by design. And thanks to the Ministry of Higher Education, because we are not start or begin all this from scratch. The Ministry of Higher Education already have a clear blueprint to be used as a reference by all public and private universities in Malaysia. For example, if I can mention the Malaysia Education Blueprint that valid until 2025 for 15 years. So towards the end, and one of there are many 10 shifts if you can refer to that later on, but one of the shifts is lifelong learning. I think that should be the strategy that we should embrace whenever we talk about the AI that keep evolving very, very fast, catching up with the things that keep changing almost every day, every second. It's not that easy. So lifelong learning is the key, okay? So, and the government also under Ministry of Education, they have another framework, what they call as experiential-based learning and competency-based learning, so that all the public and private university, whenever they want to design curriculum, including AI program, okay, they must always focus on this experiential-based and also competency-based. We are moving from knowledge-based learning to competency-based learning, and very in line with the Mohd, isn't it? They are talking about competency because knowledge only, not sure that student can apply the knowledge. But when you talk about competency, we are focusing on the actual things, action. Student can do the things based on the knowledge. Okay, talking about the approach by the government. As we know, Faculty of AI is not originally from UTM. It is a top-down initiative. As Mr. Waya Berhormat Menteri this morning mentioned, okay, that our Prime Minister have a very long vision. He can see the future, and in order to reach that future, the first things to do is to have a very good way or systematic way in preparing the talent for the future, particularly in the area of AI. So having the first faculty in AI, okay, is not the only one. That's not the only agenda. Actually, the mandate given to us is to help the other universities to establish the same. This is the mandate for your information. Seems like other discipline, engineering. We can have engineering in all universities in Malaysia, almost all. Why? Because we want to provide the talent according to based on the demand, okay, from the industry out there. So one university alone cannot supply that. For example, Faculty of AI, the first cohort running now, we have 101 bachelor in AI students. And if you look at the demand out there, thousands of them, and impossible for one university can support that, can produce that. Okay, so that we need to collaborate. Other universities also need to play their role. Okay, so many strategies. Other than that, bachelor in AI, MQA recently for Information Malaysia Qualification Agency, this one also part of the strategy to prepare the future talent. MQA already released what they call as AI advisory note that allow the public and private university to run the program, to establish a new program, Bachelor in Artificial Intelligence, Bachelor in Applied Artificial Intelligence. That is very specific discipline. And the other one is Bachelor of AI with healthcare, for example. It's double major kind of program. Now is permissible. Now all universities can take it, can do it, can develop such program. Another example, we also can have, of course, traditionally Bachelor of Computer Science in bracket Artificial Intelligence. I would like to add more on that, Mr. Nick. Traditional approach of producing talent in AI is Bachelor of Computer Science in AI. According to nomenclature, 70% is computer science, 30% is artificial intelligence. That's simply not enough to catch up with the rapid development of AI. So that's why we need to have more focus in AI. So that's why the government allow under MQA, Bachelor in AI, meaning that 100% focus on AI. 80%, 70% focus on AI, and then we can also go into specialized sector, for example, healthcare, economy, social science, or whatever, any kind of discipline. That's what we can do. This is kind of flexibility. Those are ready for us to take up, okay, not only for UTM, but also the other university in Malaysia. Okay, this is something like very interesting way of our government, okay, Malaysian government, pave the way for the future talent or AI talent development. I stop there first, then we can continue for the event.
All right, wonderful. It's good to know that you have a clear strategy. The nation has a clear strategy in terms of producing fresh graduates. And I'm very impressed with the fact that the system already allow for applied AI to be built into different disciplines. Because this morning we heard that NIO, they're focusing on 4 sectors: health, agriculture, transportation, also public service. So probably we can have AI in health, AI in public service, AI in agriculture, and AI for transportation. So that's very good. Before I go to Puan Mahuran, I think I would like to jump back to Chai Ping because this is related. Because just now, PM Naz'ri mentioned about what we are doing to develop the fresh talent. But your existing workforce, you need to continuously upskill and reskill them. You mentioned about AI taking away our role. So what's the best approach to expose and upskill this existing workforce for their new roles?
Yeah. As Prof was saying, I was already thinking, I think there's another whole, what do you call it, concept of current employees. What do we do? Because we are now looking at the future to look at graduates, right? So current employees, what do we do now that AI is already here, right? So in Experian, for example, what we did was starting last year because we are a data and tech company, right? We already said that, even our tech people, some of them, if they do not change, it's going to be obsolete. So we went through the whole Gen AI, right? Awareness and education, telling them what they can do, and it was compulsory training. On top of that, we did a series, a Gen AI tech series, right? 1.0 this year, and then 2.0 second half of the year. And we took everyone with us, not just our tech and digital talent, but also we have got finance people, we've got, the non-tech people, from engineers to non-engineers and all that, and took everybody on that journey to say that you have to start, and jump on this, on the bus now, right, and start moving. Now, the other thing is, I talked about our global career framework, right? So our global career framework with nomenclatures, with career architecture, we have also linked it to our Experian academies. And the Experian academies will enable you to accelerate your digital, your AI, your tech learning. So whether you are a tech person, whether you are a software engineer or not, you have that access to all these resources within the organization. So obviously, I think you read my bio. I'm active in TalentCorp, I'm active in MDEC, I'm active now, in PCOM and so on and so forth. I think it's bringing the outside in and having, an outside view and inside out, kind of a two-way, right? Because AI is, Prof said this, right? It is accelerated and is moving at such a fast pace. If you don't bring the organization with you, someone will be left behind. And I think looking at what the PM said and what, nationally, we need to bring everyone with us, right? So these are some of the things, very intentional. And we also explain the technology that's happening in my organization. If you don't jump on it, I already said my data entry clerks, your role, your job will be taken away from you, but your role, if you change, if you reskill, if you upskill, and we put in very intentional training for them, and these are not tech people, they are not computer science graduates, right? And we bring people with, even some of my IT folks, they are used to on-prem architecture and technology. We have to bring them through to the cloud. That is also a mindset shift, although they are engineers and the old school engineering, right? So we have to bring that with her. So very intentional, initiatives.
Okay, thank you. Very interesting. So, Experian, I think you're being a big company, with tech company. So you have your global career framework. You have you're able to organize AI hack and all that. You even have your Experian Academy. Puan Mahuran, not all companies are like Experian. How does the government help the smaller companies, the SMEs, the non-tech companies, which would not have this kind of in-house expertise and in-house leadership when it comes to adopting and embracing technology, including AI?
Okay, to address that question, Nick, as mentioned just now, okay, that's the reason why we set up the Mahrin FSTC, the Future Skill Talent Council. Why? Because the component, the members of this FSTC consists of not only a big brothers, okay, but also the SMEs, the PMKS, they call it. So this is where the collaboration take place. So when our friends mentioned that, okay, they are talking about the talent itself, okay, how they want to help the talent in the industry to equip on the AI, but I bring all to a different space where we mentioned about, all the schools. This just now when I mentioned about the schools in the Mahrin there, we put there for the students, the 15 and above, the awareness must be there. We must start from the beginning. So meaning that we need to give this awareness from muda lagi, from the school part. So they must know what is the importance of AI. Even, of course, nowadays, I think the trends of this younger generation, they know about ChatGPT, they know all those related to coding, and even they can just learn from the YouTube. So with that, okay, you can see that how they are eager, what kind of, and they don't know what kind of the skills that needed, of each industry. Coming back to the FSTC, you can see that if you look at the sector, of a company, we don't look into only at engineer level. There are many level of occupations there, meaning about TVET, the lower than TVET, the certificate, right? So from there also, we will identify what kind of skill required of that occupations, okay? So that is where the collaboration is needed, and why, I give you an example. For example, in the sector of E&E, okay, yes, they need an engineer, but they need also at the lower level of the occupations, okay? And they conduct, we introduce a program, okay, for the school leavers, the school leavers who doesn't want to take, who doesn't want to go to academy, but they are skilled person, they want to go to the skill part. We organize that, we set up this program, and the take-up rate is very good. And of course, this being employed by the company, and we give a training for a few months, okay, 1 or 2 months to do the job, so on-job training, and it's absorbed by the company. So the functions, the function of this FSTC is very important, and it consists not only the industry, but all the agency that related to the kemahiran. So namely, okay, you can see that this involve our brother, the Jabatan Perhubungan, the skill developments, okay, also part of that because it's related to the curriculums, okay, and of course our HRDC also part of that, and all those agencies that related are very important to that, must work together, to make this happen. Okay, this is one of the success story that I can share.
Thank you. Interesting. MDEC is also very familiar with FSCC. We are one of the members under the FSCC for ICT. In fact, all 3 panelists are closely linked to MDEC. UTM is one of our premier digital tech institutions network. So the AI faculty itself is yet to be accepted, but coming soon, inshallah. Okay, so I'm cognizant of the time, so I'm going to open the floor for questions. If there's any, I think, yes, we're open for questions. Just raise your hand and we'll get the mic to you. No. Okay, no question. Okay, so I have many more questions, but I know it's almost 5. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give each of the panelists 1 or 2 minutes to give their parting views. before we close the session. So maybe we start with Puan Mahuran.
Okay, what I would like to share, the 2 minutes thing is first collaboration. First is as what I want to echo what our YB Gobing said, that the acceptance of AI. Okay, we must take that seriously. Okay, in our daily work, and also how to make it happen. Okay, we need these collaborations. Okay, among the government, the industry, the academia, and also the talents.
Thank you. Prof. Naz'ri?
Okay. Talking about the AI, rapid development, maybe we can say that, okay, maybe we want to free or excuse ourselves from the AI. But I think if we're not prepared for the AI will come to us. I would like to quote from Dr. Kai Foley, one of the venture capitalists and also own several startups at the unicorn status already, okay, based in China. According to him, AI will change the world more than anything that we have seen in the history of humanity, more than electricity. So it's actually, according to him, AI is going to be an utility, like electricity, your Wi-Fi, your water. If you want to escape from it, it will keep coming to us. So now it's not the issue whether we're going to embrace it or not. The question or the things that we need to do is how we are going to deal with it. Okay, and don't waste time to stop this AI development, rapid development. Go back to the academic point of view. There are school of thoughts. I've been debating this for many, many times, Mr. Nick. Okay, there are many school of thoughts, but we really appreciate that. Okay, pertengkaran ilmu, pertengkaran idea. We fight whether this AI should be in the form of bachelor in artificial intelligence, for example. For your information, recently, ACM, IEEE, and Association of Advanced Artificial Intelligence, these are all the international bodies, already develop or produce or release AI body of knowledge. This is already established, and under MQA, we already adopt it, and that is part of the ingredients for the AI advisory notes. Okay, so meaning that this discipline is getting matured. It's going to rapidly change as well. There will be something like a continuous evolution happening, okay, in this particular discipline. So we should be ready for the future of AI, because AI is everywhere, everyday AI, okay? We cannot excuse ourselves, and I'm more than happy to discuss with anybody, training providers and so on, for example. Let's make it happen on how, for example, to infuse AI in healthcare, infuse AI in manufacturing, infuse AI in social science studies. That is nowadays is doable because of the advisory note and because of the body of knowledge established at the international level. A little bit about the future of the faculty. We are now preparing the Master of AI and PhD in AI. Targeted early next year, we're going to offer that program. And then for your information, the current batch, the first cohort for Bachelor in Artificial Intelligence, so many industries already approached them. The coming weeks, okay, on the 16th and 17, 18 and 19, there are a group of professors from University of Tokyo. If you know from Maswa Lab, it's a very famous lab, produce startup, entrepreneur, okay? Now they are developing program with our student on how to produce AI entrepreneur program. So maybe the future talent we're going to produce, they are not looking for a job, but they're creating more jobs, inshallah. I think this is something that I can share. I cannot wait next week. We're waiting for the Prof. Maswar coming down to Malaysia and visiting us at the University of Technology Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. And in the next session, I can update the findings. This is an experiment that we are doing with the University of Tokyo, Japan. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. One space for me, one place for me for the master AI. Yeah? Okay, Chai Ping.
Prof, I will self-invite as well. So please have Experian. I think my colleagues sitting there and some of my friends here will be very keen to come and visit, you know, because looking at talent, we are also very unconventional, right? The university is one huge area that we hire from, but the non-universities, right, cadets like in 42, these are B40 kids. These are kids who maybe never had opportunity to go into university. So we're looking at that. They run some of our hackathons, they participate, and they win, and with my global teams, right? And they do a fabulous job, right? So I think that's one area that we really, really need to look at. So maybe my parting words, Nick, if I may, if I think about how Malaysia and how far we have come in such a short time, if we are a steady contender together with, you know, the likes of Australia, Austria, Denmark, and all that, I think our road ahead is a very, very, you know, hopeful and optimistic one. I remain very, very hopeful, right? If we can embrace it, I'm one person who is very non-tech, but I lead a data and tech company. If I can do it, many, many out there can do it. And to what Prof said, I think our ability to create value through tech and AI, it's going to be so high, especially with Malaysia getting into an aged economy, right? And how do we leverage that so that, you know, an aging workforce and so on and so forth, you know, healthcare, I think we talk about healthcare, there's just so many things. Agriculture, if we can up our game on agriculture, then we don't have to worry about whether we have beras today or beras tomorrow, and, you know, given, you know, our very, very blessed land, right? So I am very hopeful on leveraging on AI, you know, to create opportunities, you know, and I'll just quote this very, very quickly. So in true Experian fashion, we always say powering opportunities to help create a better tomorrow. And I'll just add on through AI. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Chai Ping. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We've heard how the country is actually putting all the components together. You heard from TalentCorp, the Mahrin, how the government is actually consolidating everyone's effort into one committee towards the development of the AI, and how the academia is actually already having the right kind of policies and strategies, and already putting those strategies into practice, right? Okay, okay, just a moment. So, last but not least, we've heard from the industry how the industries are already, you know, adopting and adapting and embracing AI in their everyday work, and already identifying the new roles to be taken over by human, and letting the old roles to be done by AI. So since we have a question, okay, we'll do that. Please.
Hi, just a quick one, sorry. Just now I heard a lot of initiative, amazing initiative on AI for tech development. But I wonder whether there's any initiative for those who are unrepresented, right? There's a lot of B40s and a lot of people who are affected after COVID. Is there any way that, you know, there are courses that is actually be given in a very low cost so that they can be, you know, included? Because the digital divide, you know, is also going to be wealth divide eventually. And second, actually, we heard a lot about generative AI. Is there any concept looking into regenerative AI as well? Thank you.
Yeah, maybe you want to take first? Okay, I just take the first one to cover the B40. That is where the role of the Mahrin FSTC, which I give the example just now, you know, those students who are doesn't want to go to academia and they want to go to the skills, and most of them are actually come from that group. Okay, this is where we want to tap that kind of talent. And of course, yes, there's a few programs there. You know, I can reach out, at the different, through email maybe to give you the details of that. Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, thank you for the question. I'll just quickly add on, there's something called 42 as well, that's free education. And Experian hires a lot from that. If these kids are interested in tech, software development, coding, and these are the kids who also win all these world prizes on hackathon. So they come from B40 and it's free education. So please do check it out.
Thank you. By the way, 42 Malaysia, actually MDEC worked with Sunway to bring that into Malaysia right before the COVID years. And it was actually established during the COVID years. So very glad to hear that Experian is hiring from 42. All right. So I think I will have to, unless there's any last question, burning last question. No?
Mr. Nick, I think there is another question about the generative AI just now, isn't it? If I can address this way.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay. AI, there are three types. We have artificial narrow intelligence, okay, that do a very specific job. For example, face recognition, biometric detection, and so on, okay? And very common, okay? The second layer, second type is artificial general intelligence, AGI they call it. And that is the artificial, what you call generative AI, falls into that category, okay? So another category, we call it artificial super intelligence. That is something, the feature that coming to us. At that time, I recommend you to read one book, The Singularity is Near, okay, by Ray Kurzweil, if I'm not right, okay? And then recently he launched another book, The Singularity is Nearer. So he revisit maybe his prediction, and according to him, artificial super intelligence coming to us by 2045. Are we ready? So I haven't get the book yet, the latest one, the Singularity is Nearer. Probably it's just around the corner. Wait for the book. I don't know. I haven't the book yet. So this is where he revisit his prediction about this technology that coming. Okay. So generative AI, because this is something like human brain. Why they call it generate? Because our brain generate ideas. Okay, generate sounds and so on, isn't it? So that's why AI also can do like what our human works. Okay, that's why they call it generative AI. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. By the way, we were supposed to finish at 5. The panelists reminded me to finish at 5, but it's not my fault because they are very passionate about answering the questions. So before close, I think just again to recap, I think the topic of our discussion today is about accelerating Malaysia's AI talent development. And as you know, people say if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So I think while we want to accelerate, but we have to make sure it's sustainable. So we should strive for sustainable acceleration through collaboration in developing our AI talent development. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so that's a wrap for our program today. So thank you to our fellow speakers for concluding today's program, and we can have a photo session for a while. So if I could get you to pose right in front, and the photographers will have to take your photos.